Hi all you music lovers out there. My name is Andy Rodriguez, and I'm also known as the Blackspinner. And if you are new to our channel, welcome. And what we're doing here is that we're going through my record collection. I go through them in alphabetical order and in chronological order. I'll go through each album, and I will talk about key tracks that I think that are very important. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead, which I hope that you do, and also leave a comment. I've been collecting records for over 20 years, and I have got quite a collection to go through, and I enjoy doing this with you guys. Where we left off last episode was part 1 of the letter M. Today I'll be doing part 2 of the letter M. And just to let you know, I got quite a bit for part 2, so let's get started. Part 1 started with a pop singer, something that I don't have that many pop albums of, but when I do, they're for a reason that I have them. That's because they're fantastic. And today I'm going to start off with another pop artist, another female pop artist, and that is, I put them under the M's because, you know, I know her name is Gloria Estefan, but I still put them under Miami Sound Machine. This is one of their earlier ones, Otra Vez, which, you know, we all know they're of Cuban descent, and they play out of Miami, Miami Sound Machine. This one was okay, and in fact, this one's all in Spanish. I gotta take another listen to, because none of these really stick out to me. And Miami Sound Machine, Primitive. And here are, you know, she's starting to sing more English songs. In fact, all of these are in English. Conga, and Body to Body, Primitive Love, and Bad Boy. And Words Get in the Way. Oh, I like that song, Words Get in the Way. I really like her ballads. They're really fantastic. And like I said, I'll be going through the albums and talking about the songs that stick out on each album. And maybe you might want to go and check them out as well. Gloria Estefan. This was a big hit for her, and I will read the songs and tell you why. Let It Loose, Can't Stay Away From You, another ballad. Rhythm's Gonna Get You, Love Toy, 1, 2, 3, I Just Can't Get It. Just something like that. And Anything For You, another ballad. She's got a beautiful voice. Is there, the inside has the lyrics. And then, you know, right here, she's really started to be the lead for the band, because now it's Gloria Estefan and the Miami Sound Machine. As you knew earlier, it was just Gloria Estefan. I'm sorry, earlier it was just the Miami Sound Machine, and now it's Gloria Estefan and the Sound Machine. And then a little bit later, it's just going to be Gloria Estefan, and then after that, it's going to be just Gloria. That's the way it goes, right? And next we have a great pop album by George Michael. This one's Faith. This was a huge hit, I believe about 87. Yeah, 1987. This was a big hit for him and for us to listen to. Side 1 is just phenomenal. Faith, Father Figure, I Want Your Sex, and One More Try. I like that song, One More Try. It was a really good ballad. Look at Your Hands, and Monkey. On side 2, Monkey was a good song for him too. Mama Monkey! I mean, the videos were just out of this world. You know, MTV made stars out of everybody. That's just the way it was back then. And from George and Michael, we go to a band that was based out of San Francisco. And from there, they just worked their way out. And they worked very hard to get where they're at. Talking about the Steve Miller Band. This one is Sailor. This is their second album. This was in, I want to say 69, 70 maybe not 70, 68 or 69, Sailor. The songs on here, Song for Our Ancestors. Living in the USA was a big hit for them. And you can still probably hear that on the radio today. Or maybe streaming on 70s Rock. Quicksilver Girl, Gangster of Love, and Overdrive. Yeah, the Steve Miller Band. We're going to be in Steve Miller's world for a little bit. Steve Miller Band, Brave New World. This was their 4th album. And this was... The songs on here, Brave New World, Space Cowboy, Can't You Hear Daddy's Heartbeat was really good too. In My Dark Hour, and Cow Cow, and Celebration Song. You know what? This whole album was actually really good too. It was a really good album. Oh, you know what I forgot to read? Is this the one? No, it's off of the next one. Okay. Or is it off of this one? No. There's the inside of it. The Steve Miller Band. And this was their 5th album, called Number 5. This album was okay. Well, no, it was better than okay. Good Morning, I Love You. Those are 2 songs. Going to the Country, Going to Mexico. Those were the standout tracks on this album. And there's the inside of it. And when I was reading this earlier, I found this dedication to be pretty cool. It said, dedication, this album is dedicated to the people in our struggle to bring sanity to the world now. Now, this was written in 69 or 70. And boy, this still rings true. It also says, and to NASA for getting the people to the moon. It says, to NASA for getting the people to the moon, thus giving the world a new chance to expand together universally in peace. And to Johnny Cash and Paul McCartney for their integrity in times of darkness. And to President Nixon, we love you because you need it. Peace, brothers and sisters. Music proves that there can be peace of mind even in these trying times. It is the gentlest form of communication, so we hope that you will enjoy these songs and that you'll pass this copy on to a friend when you've gotten the message. Isn't that awesome? You know, it can ring so true what's going on right now in 2020. Almost 40 years later. No. Almost 50 years later. To read that. And I went through the songs on this one. Yeah. Steve Miller Band. And then he will change gears completely to more of a... Because those albums were more bluesy and more psychedelic. And he'll move on to more of a mainstream rock. And this one here, The Joker. I like the album cover. I like the mask. That's pretty cool. On the songs on here, of course, The Joker and Come On In My Kitchen. That's about it. This album, when it came out, was kind of a disappointment, considering what had came out before. But yeah, The Joker. The big song on there, of course, is The Joker. And next is, this was the big hit for him, Book of Dreams by the Steve Miller Band. There's the back of it. Songs on here, Threshold, which goes into Jet Airliner, Swing Time, Jungle Love, My Own Space. Here's the inside of it. And if you're just a casual listener of the Steve Miller Band, you know what's great to pick up is their greatest hits from 1974 to 1978. If you're a casual Steve Miller Band fan, this is all that you'll need. Swingtown, Jungle Love, Take the Money and Run, Rockin' Me, The Joker, Fly Like an Eagle, Jet Airliner. Yeah, those are the standout tracks on this greatest hits. And next, this was released in the mid-80s, and it was okay. You know, it's not as fun as the others. 20th Century, Living in the 20th Century. There's the back of it. But it's not a bad album. Nobody But You, Baby. Living in the 20th Century. I Want to Be Loved and Caress Me, Baby. Yeah. And what we have next is, it's hard to describe, but this is one of my favorite bands. I love them. They start off on the TV show in the mid-60s, 66, 67, and they were a big hit. And they took the world by storm, their popularity, their albums, their music, and they just captured people's hearts, especially teenagers. So let's get started with the Monkees, their debut album, The Monkees. Songs on here is the theme from the TV show The Monkees. Saturday's Child, I Want to Be Free, Papa Jean's Blues, Take a Giant Step, Last Train to Clarksville, on side 2, and Gonna Buy Me a Dog. I like that song, Gonna Buy Me a Dog. They throw in little jokes in there. Now let's get this straight. The first couple of albums by the Monkees were played by session players, and the vocals were done by the guys. Happens a lot in pop music. But this was rock. Pop rock. So it's different. When you insert the word rock in there, you're expected to sing, to write, and to play all of your instruments. And the Monkees knew that. They thought that they were going to be on a TV show, but they also thought that they were going to be able to play their own instruments and do things on their own. Well, they didn't read the fine print. It's not their fault. They did the best they could with what was handed to them. What was handed to them was great music, and they did their jobs. And when we work through these albums by them, we will see them unravel. We see them taking control of the whole thing. And even though the TV show went away, they still took control of the band, which was the most important part to them. And so, also, a key note down here says, watch for the Monkees in color every Monday night on NBC at 7:30 p.m. It's pretty cool. It says, the back, Meet the Monkees, Davy Jones, Mike Nesmith, Peter Tork, and Mickey Dolenz, and it's pretty neat. And while they were out doing promotional work for the TV show and this and that, this came out. More of the Monkees. And this is the album that broke the camel's back. They were so pissed off, the Monkees, that when they came back for the promotional tour or whatever they were doing for the show, when they came back, they found out that the tracks were already done by session players. And all they had to do was put their vocals down. That really pissed them off. But the songs are fantastic. She, Mary, Your Aunt Griselda, I'm Not Your Stepping Stone on side 1. Side 2, Look Out, Here Comes Tomorrow, Sometime in the Morning, and I'm a Believer. Great songs. Yeah, great songs. They did fantastic. But I think they were unfairly villainized. That's why they'll never make it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I believe they belong there. They started a whole revolution with videos and TV shows. And so David Kirshner was the mastermind behind them. Well, the Monkees went to their TV producers, said, hey, we're not going to be doing any more TV or anything like that until we get control of the music. We play the instruments. We'll still, and if you let us write some songs of our own. Well, they had a contract. And David Kirshner, who was in charge of the music and who had hired the musicians to play these songs, well, he was told that their contract is null and void. The Monkees were going to start doing everything on their own. Well, David Kirshner was pissed off. He was very upset. And was that his name? I know it's Kirshner, but was it David? Yeah, David Kirshner. No, I'm sorry, Don Kirshner. So sorry, please forgive me. It's Don Kirshner. Well, anyway, he was so upset that NBC said, you know what? Get lost. The Monkees win. The Monkees are going to take control of their music output, and they do. For the first album that they do on their own, Headquarters, and boy, this is fantastic. This might be in my top 20. I don't know. I gotta look more into it. You told me I'll spend my life with you. Forget that girl. You just may be the one. A great song by Mike Nesmith. Shades of Grey. I can't get her off my mind. That's just side one. Side two, No Time and Zilch. And Randy Scoos It. That was a great song by Mickey Dolenz. He wrote that one. He sang it. Played drums on it. The Monkees wanted to take control of everything. They wanted to be the band that everyone thought they were. And of course, Don Kirshner went on to create the Archies, which was a cartoon characters that were also in a cartoon show and also were musicians. And when they had asked Don Kirshner why did he leave the Monkees and start producing or made up the Archies, he said because cartoon characters don't talk back. Cartoon characters don't talk back. He wanted to have control of the Monkees, and after a while, just wasn't working. So let's keep going. Monkees, Pisces, Iscariot. No, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited. This album is just as good as Headquarters. Let's go through it. Salesman. That's a great song. She Hangs Out. Love Is Only Sleeping. Cuddly Toy. Words. And side 2 has Daily Nightly. Don't Call on Me and Star Collector. Oh, and I almost forgot this. What Am I Doing Hanging Around? That's one of my favorite Monkee songs. It tells a story. It's written and sung by Mike Nesmith. He talks about meeting a girl in Mexico, and she didn't. No, he goes, I didn't know much Spanish, and there was no time for talk. She told me that she loved me, not with words, but with a kiss. It's great. Man, that's a great song. This is a good album, too. Monkees. And next we have the Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees. And also produced by the Monkees. Man, they're really taking things to their own hands here. Daydream Believer, Tapioca Tunda, Auntie's Musical Court, I'll Be Back on My Feet, and Valerie, and Zor and Zam. They start to get a little weird. They really did. This is just, the paper fold is just advertising. And next we have, okay, I said they were getting kind of weird. They kicked the door down on the weirdness. They make a movie. And you can actually watch it on YouTube. It's free. It's free on YouTube. You just type up the Monkees and Head. That's the name of the movie, Head. And it was produced and It was produced by a very young Jack Nicholson. NBC Studios gave them just all sorts of freedom, and this is the soundtrack for it. Monkees Head. It's silver, and it's like a little mirror, so that's why it looks kind of weird like that with the light. But it's all gray. There's the back of it. This is the soundtrack to it. There are a couple songs on here. The Porpoise song, which is the theme, which is a really good song. Circle Sky was also good. And Can You Dig It? Yeah, this is really an odd movie, and the soundtrack is just as odd. And the people that come out on it are pretty interesting. Annette Funicello, Sonny Liston, and Frank Zappa comes out on here, as well as the credit. This movie is just terrible. Yeah, the Monkees Head. And the next album that I have, the Monkees are reduced to 3. Peter Tork decides to leave after the movie. And the Monkees Instant Replay. Songs on here get a little less and less. I Won't Be the Same Without Her. Me Without You. You and I is a really good song. Teardrop City is also a good song. And Cold Gems logo. But yeah, they were brave enough to take control of their careers. There would have been other bands, and we know that there's other bands that just went in and said, you know what? Whatever brings me fame and fortune, let's do it. Mike Nesmith leaves, and it's just Davy Jones and Mickey Dolenz and changes. And boy, there were some big changes for the Monkees. Not much on this one. I never thought of Peculiar as a good song. Yeah, but it starts to get rough here for them. 2-piece. A lot of session musicians on here. A lot of them. And that would be their last studio album for a while. But what was interesting about the Monkees as well were their compilations. Their compilations would have a lot of songs that were not released. Monkey Flips by Rhino Records. Released by Rhino Records. And this does have some songs that were released before. You Told Me, Teardrop City, Forget That Girl, Good Clean Fun, No Time, Circle Sky. Those are the songs that stick out to me. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that when they had compilations that weren't greatest hits, they did release a lot of album tracks or songs that were never released. The Monkees live in '67. This is a really good live album. Especially when they said that these bands didn't play live. They did play live. Maybe not in the beginning, but when they took control, they sure did. The songs on here, Last Train to Clarksville. Excellent song. You Just May Be the One. The Girl I Knew Somewhere. That's one of my favorite Monkey songs. I Want to Be Free. Your Auntie Griselda. Which I like that song because Peter Tork, who doesn't have that many lead vocals, takes reins on that. Takes the vocals on that song, and it's very fun. Forget That Girl. Mary, Mary. I'm a Believer, Randy. Excuse It, and I'm Not Your Stepping Stone. Yeah, that's a really good live album by them. And the Monkees, Missing Links. Apples, Peaches, Bananas, and Pears. A great song. I Don't Think You Know Me. Carlisle Wheeling. Teeny Tiny Gnome. Yeah, a couple of these songs got a little weird. And they've got the dates on here of these songs. So these were produced from 66 to 68. Missing links. And this was one of the first Monkees I had on vinyl. It's more of the greatest hits. Love this one from beginning to end. It's great. Now this is greatest hits. Take a Giant Step. Mary Mary, Sometime in the Morning. Cuddly Toy, Randy Scoos It. Words. Valerie, which is, the guitar playing on that is fantastic. You Just May Be the One. The Girl I Knew Somewhere. Saturday's Child. Look Out, Here Comes Tomorrow. For Pete's Sake. Pete's Sake is the theme song on the TV show that is in the ending credits. And when the Monkees, when they start to rebroadcast their TV show on Nick at Night, I believe it was in the late 80s, Nick at Night started to rebroadcast the Monkees. And that's when they came out with this one. The Monkees. Here and Now? What was it? The Best of the Monkees. Then and Now. And they do have a couple of new songs on here that are really good. That Was Then and This Is Now is a really good song. That was a new song that was put on here along with other classics that we've already talked about. Whew, that was quite a bit of Monkees, wasn't it? And what I have next is Montrose Paper Money. This will be their second album. This is their second album with a young Sammy Hagar singing. If you're not too familiar with Ronnie Montrose, Randy Montrose is a fantastic guitar player. And when you hear this, you'll see where the band Van Halen came from. And in fact, when Eddie Van Halen formed Van Halen, he had always envisioned his band being like Montrose. And coincidentally enough, later on down the road, they will get Sammy Hagar to sing for them as well. Songs on here: Underground, The Dreamer, Starliner, and Space Age Sacrifice. But I do need to get their debut album. And what I have next, we're getting into the world of the Moody Blues. And I've just gotten into the Moody Blues, so I don't have that many of them. I know they got quite a bit, and I just want to stick to one era of theirs. So let's get started with what I do have. Days of the Future Past. This has this is a really good album. It has a concept of a day, I guess. It starts with the day begins, it goes to dawn, it goes to morning, lunch break, afternoon, evening, night. Sounds like a concept of a day to me. But the songs that represent it are what makes this album great. Forever Afternoon is good. Dawn is a Feeling. Another Morning in White and Nights in White Satin. Nights in White Satin. That's such a good song. I enjoy it. And right here we have the Moody Blues. Question of balance. Like I said, I'm just getting into the Moody Blues. I've been looking at their stuff for years at the record stores. When I go flipping through them, I can already have their collection. I don't know how many times over. Songs on here. This is a really good album. I do like this one. Question: How Is It? And The Tide Rushes In. Tortoise in the Hair. The Minstrel's Song. Dawning is the Day. But I do like my favorite song on here is Question. And next I have by the Moody Blues is Seventh Sojourn. Sojourn. I guess that's how you pronounce it. There's the inside of it of the guys. Songs on here: Lost in a Lost World, Isn't Life Strange, You and Me. And I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. That song rocks. And if you're not too familiar with Moody Blues, I guess you can call them the beginning of prog, maybe? I don't know, they're kind of hard to describe because they sure weren't your traditional pop rock band or rock band. So like I said, I only have a handful of those. I need to get more of that era. So let's get on with the next one. Motley Crue, debut album. Too Fast for Love. Here's the paper. Oh no, that's just a advertisement. There's this right here. That looks pretty cool. The band Young and Hungry. There's the lyrics. Young and hungry. Because soon they're not going to be hungry anymore. And that becomes a problem. This is a fantastic debut album. It's gritty. It's solid. It's kind of, I don't want to say punky, but it's pretty rough around the edges. The songs on here by Elektra, great. Songs on here, that's side 2, side 1. Let's start from the top. Take Me to the Top. That's not the song, but that's on here. Livewire, Come On and Dance, Public Enemy #1, Merry-Go-Round and Round, Merry-Go-Round and Round, Merry-Go-Round and Round. There was something weird about Tommy Lee's drums on there. They're like a lot of hi-hat. Take Me to the Top. Side 2, Piece of Your Action, Starry Eyes is a fantastic song. Starry Eyes is great. And Too Fast for Love and On with the Show. And yes, I read every single song on this. This is a fantastic debut by Motley Crue. Next we have Shout at the Devil with the different cover. After this one, they came out with the 4 pictures in the front. This, I guess, is the star, and with the circle of the star in it. There's the inside. That's fantastic. Songs on here. You know, there was a little poll on Twitter. You know, which Motley Crue album was the best, Too Fast for Love or Shout at the Devil. I put Too Fast for Love, and a few days later I wanted to change it. Great album. Let's go in the beginning. In the beginning, there was life. Something like that. Shout at the Devil, Looks That Kill, Bastard, Knock 'Em Dead Kid, Danger, Too Fast to Fall in Love, the Beatles, a cover of the Beatles, Helter Skelter, Red Hot, 10 Seconds to Love, and God Bless the Children of the Beast. Yeah, this was a good album. Still Hungry. You're Still Hungry. This album here, my mom had given to me when I got my first record player. I got it for Christmas along with the Dawkins albums I talked about on the letter D. Theater Pain. It's still the same album. I play this quite a bit still. This is one of my favorite Motley Crue albums because of the significance of it. And because I think the songs are good. A lot of people don't put this towards the bottom of their list. I don't. I like Theater of Pain. City Boy Blues, Fight for Your Rights. Home Sweet Home. Keep Your Eye on the Money. Louder Than Hell. Raise Your Hands to Rock. A cover of Smoke in the Boys Room done by Brownsville Station. And Tonight, We Need a Lover Tonight. Use It or Lose It. Yes, sir. I did almost read every song on this album because I like this album quite a bit. And next by Motley Crue, I have Girls, Girls, Girls. During this time, they were on top of the world. They could do no wrong. There's the back of it. Which, when a band has the thoughts that they could do no wrong, so when they start to get lazy. Yep, I said it. Songs on here, Wild Side, Girls, Girls, Girls. Like those songs, Dancing on Glass. 5 Years Dead, And yeah, I'll stop right there. If you want to get more into this album, I read Nikki Sixx's The Heroin Diaries, and it'll lead to why this album was lackluster. The Heroin Diaries. It tells you it's a diary that he kept of his drug days in between the making of Theater of Pain and Girls, Girls, Girls. And you'll see why this was such a mess. Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue. This brought him back on top. This really did bring him back on top. Even though Girls, Girls, Girls was a big seller, it wasn't a critical seller like this one was. Here's the back of it. Nikki Sixx, still the leader of the band. Bass player, not the singer. Bass player. Wrote every song. Ruled the band. What he said goes. Songs on here. Dr. Feelgood. Kickstart My Heart. Rattlesnake Shake. Without You. Same Old Situation. Don't Go Away Mad. Just Go Away. That's my wife's favorite Motley Crue song. Girl, don't go, no, yeah, girl, don't go away mad. Girl, just go away. And what I have next, last but not least, in the M's of Part 2, is a band that came out in the early 70s, hard rock, heavy guitar, and they didn't really get the notoriety that they should have. They had one big hit, which is a 70s one-hit wonder, but they weren't a one-hit wonder. Talking about Mountain with Leslie West. Leslie West was the lead guitar player. Mountain. Yeah, I dig this band. Blood of the Sun, Better Watch Out, Baby I'm Down, Dreams of Milk and Honey, This Wheel's on Fire, which was written by Bob Dylan and Rick Denko of the band. Southbound Train. Yeah, man. You know when Leslie West would get a hold of a guitar, he took a hold of the guitar. This was a three-piece band. With Felix Popularity on bass, and Felix also, he made his name known with Cream as songwriter and producer, and also with Traffic. I've got another one by Mountain called Nantucket Sleigh Ride. And this will have Don't Look Around, Nantucket Sleigh Ride, My Lady, The Animal Trainer and the Toad. In this album, they add a fourth member. They had Steve Knight for keyboards. But yeah, Mountain. If you ever get interested in Mountain, I say go ahead and stream them, and you won't be disappointed to hear some really good hard rock. And last but not least, in the Part 2 of M's, is this one by Mountain. I think this is Flower, Evil Flower. Flowers of Evil. Okay, well, excuse me. Flowers of Evil by Mountain. And this will have Mississippi Queen is on here. Last song, side 2. Dream Sequence, which is a 24-minute song. Well, it's a guitar solo, roll over Beethoven, Dreams of Milk and Honey, Variations, and Swan Theme. All that will be a part of a suite on side 2. And Flowers of Evil, and One Last Cold Kiss. This is actually my favorite album by Mountain. Flowers of Evil. Fantastic. I like it. So, like I said, they're kind of hard to find, Mountain. So go ahead and stream them and see if you like it. Well, thanks a lot for joining me on this epic letters of Part 2 of M. Thank you so much for joining me. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. So, the next will be the letter N. and that will have bands like No Effects, Willie Nelson, Terrible Ted Nugent, Uncle Ted, some people call him. So join me as we go through the journey of my record collections. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for spending this time with me. Take care of yourselves, and keep on rocking. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.